this might be the most explicitly corrupt administration ever.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
It's not even like a joke anymore.
Yeah, they're just...
It's not a secret.
People are openly just paying them off. Yeah. People are just giving Trump money. Yeah. And we're not just talking like money. We're talking money, like massive money bags. We had the Qatari jet. We had Amazon and like a bunch of big tech like funding the ballroom. Mm-hmm. And now we have just like one guy, Timothy Mellon, famously like heir to the Mellon fortune, one of the great American wealth dynasties in the goddamn country. He's donating $130 million to the Pentagon to pay the troops.
Yeah. Yeah. And like $130 million to the Pentagon is like $100 for each service member.
Yeah, no, it is not nearly enough to pay the troops. It costs $6.4 billion to pay the troops every 2 weeks, like what they're owed.
And so my question is, what did he just buy?
Yeah, no, I wanted to think like they're calling it the most expensive virtue signal ever. Like, oh, you can't let the troops go without the payment during the thing, even though everybody else is during a government shutdown. But yeah, it's not a virtue signal because he's going to get something out of this.
Yeah.
We just don't know what it's going to be. And I don't think we're ever going to know explicitly what he got out of this.
Yeah.
But you don't just give somebody $130 million just for nothing.
Yeah, like, is this for some military operation that we don't know about that this guy like really wants done?
Yeah,
like,
are we doing banana republics again?
Well, that's what I was just about to say. Like, are we doing banana coup in Guatemala again because this guy has some financial interest at stake? Like, we have no idea.
Is this like Coke funding death squads and like wherever? Like, who knows?
Like, explicitly, I don't know how you couldn't call this a bribe. And I know we've been talking for a while about Trump and his administration and how corrupt they are. We've been connecting the dots, tariff on, tariff off. Is this just a slot machine? Are some people doing rug pulls and making a fuck ton of money because they've got insider knowledge? But this isn't even, like, there's no question. It is a guy giving over $100 million to the Trump administration, to the Trump administration's Pentagon. For what reason? Nobody knows.
Literally. You don't, like, dude, like, you don't just give that much money for nothing, especially when you're that rich and that wealthy.
Yeah.
Like, we have all these conversations about, like, I don't know, corporate PAC money when it comes to people just running for elections, and how, like, I don't know, maybe you shouldn't take the Home Depot dollars or you shouldn't take the BlackRock dollars because then maybe they're going to influence the policy that you have. Say you're the attorney general. I don't know. How can you just accept $130 million without that having influence over you?
Straight into the government's coffers.
Exactly, which I don't even know how you do.
We can't.
You can't. It is illegal.
The perennial question, can they do this? No.
No, they cannot do it. It's like explicitly illegal. Like, you cannot spend money. Like, as a federal agency, you can't spend money that Congress hasn't appropriated. Mm-hmm. Like, you just can't do this, but he will, and it'll happen, and whatever. And for reasons we'll talk about in a little bit, really, like, it's why this one. Mm-hmm. Why the military? That's why I call it a virtue signal, because it not only is it a virtue signal for him, Timothy Mellon, it's a virtue signal because it allows Trump to talk about paying the troops and blah, 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 instead of, I don't know, feeding people.
Yeah, no, I don't even know how to explain it in any other way, because like you said, like, when we talk about corruption in politics, normally it's like backdoor deals, corporate PACs, influencing politicians, calling on them for favors, buying access, right? Like, all these pretty complicated mechanisms that have infested our entire political system.
Yeah.
But here it's just one guy giving $130 million to the military under the Trump administration, and we have no idea what it's going to be. Like, it's a joke, man.
It's not even like a lobbying effort. Like you said, like, it's not a lobbying effort. It's not hidden behind shadows. There are no smoke and mirrors here. The Trump administration is so boldly and outwardly corrupt that people feel that they can just give him money.
Yeah, exactly. Like, where is this going other than just like whatever Trump wants? Because like we said, it's not enough to actually pay the troops for any amount of time.
Once again, permission to live out. But like, can you imagine if somebody gave Barack Obama like $130 million to pay the troops during his shutdown? I think people would be screaming at him. I think people would be validly raising conflict of interest questions.
This sounds like something that Trump would have accused Kamala Harris of doing.
Yeah.
Like, it's that comedically absurd.
And it's like, also, like, if this is just like a donation, like, however this can happen legally or not legally, most likely not legally.
GoFundMe.
How is there any accountability for like how this money is spent?
There's not.
Like, who does this money go to in the first place? You can't just write a check to DOD. Yeah. You can't just write a check to, I guess you could just write a check to Pete Hegseth, but you shouldn't. Yeah. Like, you can't just drop $130 million anywhere. Do you just donate to the Treasury? And then how do we have accountability of how that money gets spent, where that money goes? How do we know that money doesn't go to, I don't know, like Trump crypto?
Well, like, you could just buy a government bond
Yeah.
Like there are ways that like you can give the government money aside from just like paying taxes as normally. But like that's not what he did, right? That's why we call it a virtue signal, and that's why we wonder like what the use of this is, giving it directly to the Pentagon. It's like no billionaire would just give away money for fun.
Exactly.
They don't even pay their taxes, man.
You don't amass that much wealth without, like, I don't know, having at least an idea of how to keep getting more and more.
Yeah, like other people have made this point, but like if you tried to tax this guy this much for like, I don't know, feeding children,
He'd kill you.
He would kill you. Like he would have you assassinated in the night, and they would blame it on like a lone shooter. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like
They'd go find some guy who needed to, I don't know, feed his family, and then I'm out, lights out.
But now he can just decide to give it to the. That's why there has to be an ulterior motive. There's no way it's just out of like the kindness of his own heart.
Yeah.
So Trump administration may be most corrupt ever. We're certainly getting there.
We're certainly getting there. More on that later.
Welcome back to Head in the Office, everybody. We got a lot to talk about today.
It's been another unrelenting week.
My God.
Just news after news after news after news. And it's not even like, with one massive caveat, it's not even like the big stories, right? Yeah. There's like one central story that's like permeating the news outlets, and it's SNAP.
Yep.
It's SNAP benefits, it's the government shutdown and whatnot. But everything else are just like the little things they just like to pepper us with to keep us distracted.
Yeah.
To pepper us with to just do bad things and just get away with them. And it's bad.
Yeah, so today we'll be talking about SNAP and its looming SNAP crisis in funding.
Yes.
Millions of people are going to be losing their SNAP benefits. Very bad stuff. We'll be talking about war crimes.
War crimes.
And then towards the end of the episode, we'll have some conversation about just more corruption.
More corruption, because surprise, it didn't stop with the jet from Qatar. It didn't stop. It's not going to stop with this guy giving $130 million to the Pentagon.
When it rains, it pours, man. When it rains, it pours. But today's Monday, October 27th. And before we get into the show, I'll remind you all to become a patron.
Become a patron, please. And I would also like to remind you all to go listen to the interview we did with Chrissy McGillivray of Voters Not Politicians.
Yeah, if you're feeling hopeless and you feel like there's no way out, there is. Groups are doing things, and we touched grass. Yes. We talked to a real person. And I'm feeling more invigorated and more excited about the future.
Exactly. And it was a really good one, and it was entertaining, and it was high octane throughout the whole thing. And you guys should check it out, even if you hate reviews.
Yeah. And
interviews.
That was a little pre-recorded thing that we dropped for our patrons, of course, on Thursday, for the public on Friday last week, which means, of course, that we missed the news cycle.
We did.
Namely, some crazy shit about Graham Plattner.
That one came to just bite us in the ass.
No, it really did. And so if you want access to our content before the news cycle fucks us over, because it still happens even though we do 2 episodes a week, you got to become a patron. Patrons get early access to everything that we make, and you'd be supporting independent media, and we love you very much.
God, like, that was just a stroke of fate. Like, we talk about Reddit comments, dude, that awesome. Like, even in hindsight, like, I don't know, like, whatever. And then all of a sudden that night, Nazi tattoo. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. And just a little announcement here. We will be uploading another little pre-recorded thing on Thursday.
Yes.
For our patrons, Friday for everybody else. There will be an interview attached about ranked choice voting in Michigan that we conducted a few weeks ago, but we'll also have some news conversation up front. So it won't be just an interview for you guys.
It's gonna be election focused. So if you're listening and you're Wednesday weenie on Friday, that's when we're gonna be talking about Plattner. We're gonna skip it today. We're gonna talk about it then as we center like an episode just around elections. I don't know, some notable person that may be soft launching a new campaign, some other stuff, maybe another notable person in New York City that might be popping off. That's what we're gonna be talking about on Thursday for patrons, on Friday for Friday freeloaders.
That's right. So a little update on the Hiddo posting schedule. Hopefully next week we'll be back to completely normal Monday, Thursday. But until then, bear with us.
Please.
Anyways, if you want to support the show another way, you can get some Hiddo merch. You can follow us on all the social media platforms. 40% off Ground News. It's all down there in the description. And lastly, you can leave us a 5-star review on Apple. It always helps.
It always helps, like these wonderful people did. And since this week we're doing a little pre-recorded thing for the Thursday show, since we're both going to be out of town, we're going to do Spotify on Thursday, Apple today.
That's right. So this first one from Dan Campbell for president. Gonna have to agree off rip. Greatest show since ever. First and foremost, I condemn Hamas and all forms of political violence, including the type my ears had to endure while listening to those Harris quotes from 107 Days. Best episode, by the way. Interesting.
I think it's our most listened to episode.
It
now.
is. Maybe we should just do book reviews, hard pivot into
real.
book reviews. The Queen Jean-Pierre one looks crazy.
Dude, Because I thought about it.
Yeah.
I really was. I was seeing the tweets that were coming out about like people saying it. I saw like a little tidbit of an interview with her with, I can't even remember who it was, but it was just insane. All the reviews have just been scathing. I'm kind of tempted.
I read the Washington Post review and they ate her alive.
Was the Washington Post review the one where they're like, this is a book for nobody, or like from
Yeah, they were like, instead of breaking with Democrats because of genocide or because of blah, 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 she's mad that they broke with Biden. That is why she's angry with the Democratic Party. And it's like, man, that's awesome.
That's so
It's so
gas,
sick.
man.
It's so
Oh
sick.
my God.
Anyways, I started listening around a month after the election and have been hooked since. Who knew these Midwestern white boys could have this much sauce and motion?
Huge on that.
The Gestapo truly wish they had as much motion as you two. Keep up the good work and spread that Hiddo mind virus with honor.
And honored to get that review by you as well. This next one from Arden L, #1 favorite tertiary newscast. Firstly, of course, I condemn Hamas, all political violence, and whatever those freaks were doing in their leaked group chat. Thank you, boys, for giving me hope and for keeping all of us informed as the political world spirals so heavily. Being in deep red Georgia, I tune in for some of the best takes and best jokes every week from this top tier podcasting duo.
So true.
Keep up the good work.
So true, so true. This next one from Dr. Thick. LBJ would have been a Hiddo head.
Money.
This podcast has earned at least 107,000 out of 5 stars, objectively speaking, of
Hell
course,
yeah.
for their insanely correct opinions on all matters, whether it's domestic or abroad. After hearing my boys talk about the Supreme Court in my home state of Louisiana gutting my Lord and Savior LBJ's vote. Well, don't lionize him too much. LBJ's Voting Rights Act, I had to leave a review and say, yeah, you're spot on as usual. It's actually completely true and correct that LBJ would have loved y'all NSPM 7 compliant podcast.
We got LBJ's biggest stand.
Thank you to these two thoughtful, young, and definitely not 35-plus-year-old like the young Republicans men for delivering political news in a way that's fun and keeps us engaged. As a doctor in Texas treating immigrants every day, not performing train surgeries, as Republicans think.
Well, because you're not in a school.
Unless
You're not the school nurse.
Listening to this podcast shows the work is worth it. Many are saying it. Good things are still good. Lastly, I condemn Hamas and all political violence, including having to hear Kristi Noem's voice at the airport, and anyone who has the means to subscribe to Patreon on the Patreon but hasn't yet.
Biggest condemnation right there.
Yeah.
I'll just
More
throw
so
that
than
one out
Hamas
there.
and political violence.
Much more so, because that's a travesty.
Yeah.
That's a travesty right there.
Yeah, well, no, that's like a crime against humanity for the ages.
Huge. I would agree.
Yeah,
you'll
you'll get tried at The Hague if you have the means to support us on Patreon, but don't. It's like the reverse of a means test.
Exactly. You have to support independent media. Please support independent media.
Our Patreon tiers, the requirement to join them is like a tax bracket, you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
And so if you can give, you have to.
Exactly. It's
compulsory.
It's like tight. You see that one video that like pastor that went viral like over the last week where someone came up and donated like $1,200 to the church and he said, I said 1,000 plus 1,000, not 1,200. And she said, I'm sorry, I'll work on the 800. She said, I'll work on the other 800. That's how I need to treat y'all so that y'all actually treat me how I'm supposed to be treated.
We need 1,000 plus 1,000 now.
Exactly. Exactly. And this next review from Shilly Dilly Willy, I believe in Hiddo, they're going places. Reporting to Hiddo HQ from liberal Provo, Utah, a tiny blue downtown in a sea of red where we are represented by the most condemnable senator after Alyssa Slotkin, of course, the one and only Mike Lee. That's brutal. I wish we had a single Democrat in power in this state so I could complain about them being lame, tic-tac-toe a winner, instead of them being evil, banning unions and illegally gerrymandering. That's real. As a progressive in a blue state, it's a breath of fresh air hearing a bro podcast that doesn't hate women and minorities. This podcast has convinced me to condemn Hamas and all forms of political violence. In fact, I think this podcast may have healed all of my ailments, physical or otherwise. 107 out of 5 stars. No notes.
This next one from Young Jeezy Adlib Enjoyer. You guys got some silly names this time.
For real.
Young Hiddo Head review leaked. Things I condemn: Hamas, political violence, and political inaction.
Oh.
Things I condone: Hiddo and their top tier takes.
Huge.
I'm a blue dot in a red city, in a red state, in a purple city in Alabama. It is so refreshing to hear that people with a platform still have empathy and concern for the treacherous political landscape we find ourselves in. Jeremy Engage, my non-parasocial friends are well-spoken and have great bits that I've enjoyed since finding the podcast through Reels.
Oh, no way.
In February of this year. Easy 5 out of 5 stars. Thank y'all so much.
In February of this year. So I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say that when TikTok got banned during the Commanders game, you decided decided to make the switch over to Reels and just kind of stuck with it for a couple weeks in fear that TikTok was going to get banned again. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Unless
on
this
that
is
one.
the rare Reels enjoyer.
Huge.
Then we have a problem.
We found a specimen in the reviews here today. This last one from Rachel Ray. I just want to shout out my amazing boyfriend and this amazing podcast.
Too
of course,
true.
I condemn all political violence and Hamas, duh. But my boyfriend David showed me this podcast, and I was honestly shocked by how much I liked it, considering I usually can't stand listening to men talk unless it's him. Shout out to David for having 10 out of 10 taste and being an absolute green flag and the best boyfriend ever, of course. And I mean, shout out to David.
Well, that just feels like a review of David.
Exactly.
Well, what are we doing?
It's a good one, though.
Yeah, I guess
it's also shout out David for feeling confident enough in us.
Yeah, reflects well on
play
Hiddo.
us. Exactly.
Reflects well on Hiddo, reflects well on David. I feel like everyone succeeds.
Because that's the move. Play podcasts for your girlfriend. Like, hey, babe, check this out. You get in a long car ride and you're like, oh, we have an hour on the road. Or I'm sorry, we have an hour and 37 minutes on the road. Let's put on an episode of Head in the Office.
Real. Getting into the news, though, Snap's going away.
Yeah, Snap's going away on November 1st. What's today, the 27th?
Yeah,
And this
yes,
episode comes
yes.
out on, what, the 30th?
Yeah.
Or the 29th or something
yeah,
like that?
2 days from now.
Yeah, Snap's going to be gone, and I can pretty much guarantee that the government will still be shut down.
Yeah, Snap's going to be gone because apparently the USDA has said they had enough money to fund through October, but starting in November, they don't have enough money to fund the Snap program. And of course, the executive branch can't do anything or isn't supposed to do anything without the money being congressionally allocated and approved.
Unless you get a wicked donation from one of the heirs to an American dynasty.
Well, yeah, that's why I say supposed to, because law doesn't matter, and the Trump administration can do anything it wants for some goddamn
and
reason.
we'll get into some ways that law doesn't matter, specifically when it pertains to this issue. But just not to bury the lead here, but 40 million Americans are on Snap.
Yes.
40 million Americans will lose access to Snap benefits on November 1st if this does happen, if they don't find a way to fund it, which they are adamantly opposed to finding a way to fund it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely disgusting, but just straight up from DHHS, from their website, quote, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Food and Nutrition Services has informed all states that there may be insufficient funds to pay November benefits through the federal SNAP program. Beginning November 1st, SNAP recipients may not be able to access any unused benefits on their EBT cards. And they also left a message on the USDA website that was just a banger, frankly. This thing was absolutely insane. That first memo was very much to the point, a regular government
What you
response.
would expect during a shutdown.
Yes.
Because, of course, we have the Hatch Act. Executive branches or executive agencies are not supposed to do politics.
It's something we expect from a government that works and has principles and isn't insane.
Yeah.
But that's not what we have.
Yeah.
And so when I read that memo, I'm thinking, where's the sauce?
Where's the sauce?
Where's the sauce? They just put it somewhere else. This is a message on the USDA website. Quote, Senate Democrats have now voted 12 times to not fund the food stamp program, also known as the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program.
Come on, man.
Bottom line, the well has run dry. At this time, there will be no benefits issued November 1st. We are approaching an inflection point for Senate Democrats. They can continue to hold out for healthcare for illegal aliens and gender mutilation procedures, or reopen the government so mothers, babies, and the most vulnerable among us can receive critical nutrition assistance.
Man.
I expect nothing less from them.
The Trump administration here is saying that Democrats wanting to negotiate on healthcare, wanting to reinstate healthcare premiums is why you're losing food.
Yeah.
You might go food insecure because Democrats want to quote unquote give healthcare to undocumented immigrants. It's just not true.
And fund gender mutilation procedures.
Well, of course, now that's a part of it too.
They just keep making that worse too.
Yeah.
They keep adding worse and worse words to describe the thing, because obviously they have nothing else to stand on other than just scaring you. Yeah. I don't know how else to put it, but holy shit, man, this is the Trump administration tried and true right here. You just can't say this stuff.
Yeah, and this is on the USDA website, a place where people will be going if they're confused why their SNAP benefits haven't shown up.
This is a government website, not like Benny Johnson's Twitter page. Yeah. And that's the thing. Frankly, I need to stop asking for permission to lib out, because I think it's totally valid to lib out about this kind of thing now. This is just embarrassing.
And it's illegal. It's a violation of the Hatch Act. Not that it matters. Law doesn't exist. But they can't do this.
But we're living out right now. It's illegal. You're not supposed to be able to do that. And there's a very good reason that you're not supposed to be able to use federal resources to do politics. You are not supposed to be able to functionally campaign for your party with tax dollars.
Yeah.
Like, we have robust, like, just systems for how money should be allocated, what's fair, how things are supposed to go. There's even campaign finance things. Not that those get not ignored sometimes, but still, it's a load of horseshit, man.
Yeah, no, agencies are supposed to serve the public. That's what they exist to do.
Yes.
Right, in a certain area. They're not supposed to do politics or electioneering or electoral campaigning, and that's what this is.
And it's
this is blaming a political party for something that the agency shouldn't even have a hand in, other than announcing what's going to be going on.
Exactly. You are supposed to just put the money in the place.
Yeah, put the money in the bag, brother.
Put the money on the card.
Yeah.
Put the money on the card
Yeah.
and send it out. You know what I'm saying? And it's fucked because, for context, SNAP costs the federal government about $100 billion a year.
Yep.
That's only like 1.5% of overall federal spending.
Drop in the bucket.
If you think about your tax bill every year, and if you assume that your tax money, the bill that you pay, is evenly distributed among all of the things that the government spends your dollars on, only 1.5% of that is going towards SNAP. That is a minuscule amount.
Yeah.
Think of 1.5% of your tax bill. That's hardly anything, dog.
Yeah, no.
It's not something that is a unique burden on individual American taxpayers, and it's something that helps out, like, the 40 million Americans that are on it tremendously. I think the average benefit amount is about $188 per month.
Yeah, no, it doesn't help any individual all that much, but it is like necessary for them week to week.
Exactly. Yeah, food stamps are not just like your thing. It's like, it's a supplement.
Yeah, it's a supplement.
It's
That's what the S stands for.
Exactly. It's meant to push you over that edge so that you can get the nutrition, the N, that you need.
And I need to remind people that, like, people on SNAP have work requirements. The work requirements have been a part of SNAP for quite a while now.
Yeah.
I think it's like, as long as you don't have dependents and as long as you're able-bodied, it's like 20 hours of work every single month. Sort of similar to the Medicaid work requirements we saw put in place under the One Big Beautiful Bill. So it's not like people on SNAP are undeserving or are not working hard, because they have to work by law. And it's not that much money that they get person to person. And it's not that much money that we get taxed in order to fund this program. And on top of all of that, SNAP is responsible for a massive amount of economic velocity, right?
Yeah.
Because people are getting SNAP funding, and then they are paying for their grocery bill. Those grocery stores or individual farmers or whoever is selling the food uses that money to then go and do whatever they want with it. It's important. This feels so trite. It's important that people spend money in the economy. That
you have
matters.
to have the velocity of money,
Yes.
literally, like, moving around. You need
That's what I
money to
mean.
circulate through the economy.
Yeah, and SNAP helps people spend money on food that they otherwise might not spend, and that is good.
And it's like not that much. Like,
Yeah.
$188 per month breaks down to $47 per week. Tell me the last time you spent $47 per week on groceries.
No, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Like-
I'm always spending more than $47 a week. Are you kidding?
Absolutely. I'll go and spend, like, I don't know, $50 and get groceries for, like, maybe like half the week, maybe 4 days of the week.
And there are
but then I'm
things-
always back on the weekend.
And there are things you can't buy with SNAP money. Like, you can't buy alcoholic beverages for SNAP money, for example. A lot of people complain about SNAP recipients being able to buy things like soda, right?
Yeah.
Pop. We see this all the time with right-wingers, but it's like, people on the SNAP program deserve to have nice things too.
Exactly. Like, who fucking cares?
It's Coca-Cola.
It's like, I'm not gonna sit here and pocket watch somebody who's, like, already struggling like that.
Yeah.
Like, with this and with what we were talking about during the One Big Beautiful Bill saga, it's like conservatives paint the picture of this, like, able-bodied 22-year-old guy who is sitting in Section 8 housing, playing video games for fucking 20 hours a day, sleeping the other 4, on SNAP benefits to get his food, and on, like, Medicaid to get his health care. And that's just not a person that exists anywhere.
Yeah.
None of these programs are built for that to ever, like, be the case.
And it's like, there's a bit of doublethink going on here too, right? Because
Yeah.
under Joe Biden, Republicans said the economy was absolute shit. But then they still criticize people for being on welfare programs, even though they're saying the economy is shit.
Yeah.
It's like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but Joe Biden made the economy terrible, but you should still be able to make it just fine. It's like, it's an insane amount of hypocrisy.
Yeah. The economy is, like, the Democrats' fault, like, totally, but, like, you should still be able to individually, like, go beyond that. You just have to elect me, and I'll give you the tools to do it yourself.
And it's like, it's fundamentally, even just aside from Republican framing, it's not a bad thing for the government to help people get food.
Yeah, no, having a social safety net is actually, like, a really chill thing, because sometimes people fall on hard times.
Like, what is the point of coming together as a society, as a civilization, funding a government, if not so everybody can eat? right? We're talking about the fundamentals of human life. If people cannot eat, what is the point of any of this?
Like you need shelter and you need food.
The basics, man.
The basics.
I'm talking basics. like we come together, we build these great big things. We build things that no society has ever seen before. A country like the United States, so incredibly wealthy. And we can't feed everybody?
Exactly. Like, what's the point of, like, all the, like, cool stuff if people can't have food?
Yeah.
Like, if people are food insecure, if food insecurity is, like, on the rise in this country, what's the point of all this, like, crazy, wicked investments? What's the point of NVIDIA? What's the point of spending a goddamn $1 trillion on, like, Chat GPT?
Yeah.
If people can't get their most basic needs met, if people can't have, I don't know, their nutrition needs met, if they can't have enough food to be able to, like, go and not be angry all the fucking time, not be wondering where their next meal is going to come from.
Yeah, and like food insecurity, people fundamentally cannot imagine what that feels like if you've never actually been through such a thing. You know what I mean? It's like we're talking the most basic aspects of human life and being able to provide for each other. And this, to be clear, like SNAP is not like a decommodified form of giving food to people. It's fully commodification.
Oh, absolutely. You are still going and you are spending that money at Walmart.
Yeah, like Walmart's making money off of this just fine. We have not this is not like anti-capitalist in any real way. Yeah. It is just it is the basics, man. And I cannot fathom how people are against this.
This is fully a solution that exists within the market.
Yeah.
This is just the government making it easier for individuals to interact with the market.
Yeah. In fact, the reason that something like SNAP is necessary is because massive corporations like Walmart don't pay their workers enough to just afford food on their own.
Yeah.
SNAP subsidizes Walmart's low wages. And I would prefer if we just forced the corporations to pay more to balance wealth inequality a little bit more. But since we're unwilling to do that, I will take SNAP in lieu of that so people don't actually starve. There's a lot that we need to do in terms of welfare reform. One of those things is not making food insecurity rise.
Yes, no, absolutely. And I mean, here's just an article that I just pulled up from Newsweek. Walmart set to lose billions from SNAP benefits stopping in November.
There you go.
That's not just because Walmart uses SNAP benefits to subsidize low wages. That's because Walmart is like a large recipient of a lot of like EBT dollars that get spent.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's just like, it props up the economy. It props up big businesses. We've incorporated this. It's so fundamentally silly.
Yeah.
To treat this program as if it's something that lazy, able-bodied 22-year-olds are taking advantage of to, I don't know, buy Coke and pizza.
Yeah.
Rather than something that people are using when they fall on hard times to be able to meet their nutrition needs of them and their families.
And it's like, again, man, it's the most basic thing that we can do for each other. It's like, people people need to eat. This is not a controversial take. What is the point of any of this at all if people can't eat? I don't know.
And it's like conservatives love to go and talk about like, oh, why rely on the government when, I don't know, we can rely on each other despite them never doing actual community things. Or talking about like charity, when in reality, the charities that they talk about are the charities that right-wing billionaires make, and they do these shadow things that just give money to themselves. I digress. But besides, when we don't have the government, which is basically like, I don't know, society not personified but made real, to come together to help us like get SNAP, help people when they're at their most needy, we need to rely on each other. But we cannot rely on each other to the extent that the government can provide. And I say that to say that, like, in lieu of SNAP benefits going away on November 1st, more people are going to have to rely on food banks.
Yeah.
Again, 40 million people will be out of benefits. 40 million people will not be able to meet the same needs that they were meeting up until November 1st.
Yeah.
And food banks just don't have the capacity to bear the burden of like the sudden mass loss in SNAP, because people will still need to eat despite SNAP benefits being gone. Just because that money's not there doesn't mean your tummy's full. You know what I'm saying?
Heavy on this.
From a Time interview with a food bank employee, quote, "For every meal that a food bank provides, SNAP provides 9. We don't have the capacity to bear that burden because we can barely do that one meal now. 1 in 8 Americans receive help find food through SNAP." Just in case that 40 million number wasn't getting to you. 1 in 8. That's 12% of the country, dog.
Yeah, and it makes sense why SNAP is able to provide more than like food banks are nationwide, because again, it's a government-funded program. We pool our resources and can do more with them than any individual organization. That's the point of the government.
It's quite literally the opposite of a decentralized like local food bank. It is an incredibly centralized, wide-reaching program that can go everywhere.
Are we trying to run a country or not? Like,
exactly.
what are we doing?
And it's just money.
Yeah.
Like, it's just money that you get to go buy food. You're not relying on what's been donated to the food bank. You can just go to the grocery store and like function like a normal human.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing that I feel like is underrated when we talk about the difference between like SNAP and a food bank and like what it does to the person who's on that. We've talked on this podcast how a lot of people will not take advantage of the social safety net or take advantage of programs that are provided to them because there's a social stigma associated with taking advantage of those programs. There is a much greater social stigma with physically like going to a food bank and showing your face than going to the grocery store and paying with an EBT card.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the thing.
Yeah.
Even though food banks may be able to meet some of this need, there will be there's like a gap in need that exists, not only in food banks not being able to meet what SNAP provided, but in people not wanting to be embarrassed and go to food banks. And that's not me saying that it's embarrassing to go to a food bank.
There's a social stigma.
That's me saying,
It
exactly.
exists.
There's a social stigma, and a lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people are scared to death of like dropping the appearance that they're doing financially okay, even though so many of us aren't.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucked up, and it's a fucked up place that we're in, man. So that's a bit silly. But I want to talk about things a little deeper, and I want to kind of talk about funding. And it gets really fucky here, right? The USDA has contingency funds specifically for SNAP to cover benefits in the case of an emergency.
Huh.
What is more of an emergency than the government being shut down and money run out?
So the Trump administration is just saying like, fuck it, we don't want to?
Basically.
Come on!
It's blowing my mind. And it's like just hard to find stuff about this contingency like funds and like what these things are used for. And it seems like the only thing we can rely on is what people are like saying. And the Trump administration came out and said in a USDA memo, they will not be using the government's contingency funds to cover November benefits because they claimed it would be illegal to do so.
Come on.
Stay with me now. From the USDA memo, quote, SNAP contingency funds are only available to supplement regular monthly benefits when amounts have been appropriated for, but are insufficient to cover benefits. The contingency fund is not available to support fiscal year 2026 regular benefits because the appropriation for regular benefits no longer exists. Funny how this is like one of the only instances where the Trump administration is stopping themselves because something might possibly be illegal.
Yeah, no, they found the money to pay the troops in an illegal way, as we talked about like 2 episodes ago.
Exactly. They are already engaging in illegal means to fulfill other functions that they want to like more easily virtue signal about.
Yeah.
They are explicitly refusing to even try to get SNAP funded. Even if this is something that's like vaguely illegal, I have faith that even Joe Biden would have tried to do this. But government didn't shut down under Joe.
Government did not shut down. Look, man, for all my criticism of Joe Brandon, government didn't shut down.
For all my grievances, he kept the government open.
I hate commercials.
Me too.
I hate listening to them. I hate when I hear them, whether it's on TV or on podcasts.
Grr, I just can't stand commercials.
They're the worst. And the one place you can go to avoid commercials, like this one you're listening to right now, is patreon.com/headintheofficepod. Become a patron, and you get early access to our episodes, and they're all completely commercial-free. No more interruptions.
And you could be one of our friends.
And that's arguably the more important point.
And, you know, in trying times like this, friendship is what we really need.
Friendship's really important, and you can buy your way into being a friend of ours by heading over to patreon.com/headintheofficepod. Again, early access to episodes, no commercials, access to all of our content before anyone else sees it. Become a patron.
Incredibly interesting that, once again, just the law has not stopped him before from literally doing anything. I mean, I believe we covered a story like 2 weeks ago, like a week or two ago at this point, where an administration staffer was questioned about the legality of something, and he's like, I don't know, why don't we just do it and see? You remember that?
I think so. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we'll just take our chances in court.
Yeah, none of the National Guard deployments have been legal. They've all been deemed illegal.
It's always, let's take our chances in court when it's doing something evil and awful. And never, let's take our chances in court when it comes to doing something that would be just cool and nobody would disagree with.
Well, yeah, and as we'll talk about later, Trump is considering just paying himself $230 million from the DOJ.
Yeah.
Explicitly illegal. You can't do it. Cannot do it. This is something that like politicians of old, the old politicians of this country, anticipated, and they put it in the law and said you cannot do it. And he's trying to do it. It has never stopped him, but it just happens to stop him when it comes to a program that could feed the working class.
Exactly. When it comes to a program that they can use to, I don't know, put like 40 million people through material pain to maybe try and actually somehow attempt to blame the Democrats.
Well, yeah, and like let's be clear about this, right? Like the Trump administration is not going to use contingency funding for SNAP because they want to use that pain that people are going to feel as leverage to not reinstate healthcare premiums.
And
that is explicitly what's happening.
They
here.
are explicitly holding your food hostage so that they can try and blame the Democrats.
So they can deny you healthcare.
They want to deny you healthcare and pin this on the Democrats. They want to make this whole like shutdown fight worse because they know, because every poll that's still coming out is blaming Republicans for the government shutdown because Republicans hold all three branches of government, and they want to hold your food hostage to take away your healthcare and also get one over on the Democrats, even though they do not have to. Like, they just most likely do not have to with these contingency funds. And I say that somewhat definitively, that they don't have to, because from Reuters, originally the USDA's shutdown plan included the potential use of contingency funds for SNAP, but that plan was taken off the USDA's website Friday afternoon, a couple days ago.
I wonder, that they do this shit all the time.
Yeah.
They love deleting little things off of the website. That'd be damning for them.
Exactly. And they just do. And now they can claim it. Like, I don't think that they would have had an illegal thing in their original shutdown plan. It's just not how these things usually work. Usually these things are sourced from guides. There have been shutdowns before. We know what we can and cannot do for the most part.
Yeah.
But they're just playing dumb.
I don't think the food stamps program or SNAP has ever like not paid out, right? Like, this is unprecedented for, I think food stamps, it was initially food stamps starting in like the 60s with all like the Great Society reforms. And now for like the first time ever, we're considering just not paying people the shit that they need. It's crazy.
It's like that. This should be a panic.
Yeah.
Like, the administration, every single branch of government should be panicking right now, thinking that 40 million people all of a sudden, in an instant, as soon as the clock strikes 12 on November 1st, are just going to be without the ability to meet their food needs for the month, for even the week. Like, immediately, you will not have that money. You will not be able to pay for groceries that you were able to pay for before. Like, how are they not scared shitless trying to do everything they want?
Yeah,
it's because they want to blame the Democrats.
The average person is about to lose about $200 a month from their food budget.
That's insane.
Like, that's like, it's just, I feel like this administration on a very fundamental level is a hostile threat to human life.
Yeah, it's just they fucking hate you and want to kill you administration. Like,
exactly. They passed the "I'm gonna kill you" bill. They're taking healthcare away. They're taking food benefits away. Like, how else can you look at this?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And it's like, oh my god, man, it's just the worst fucking scenario.
Yeah.
But additionally, like, SNAP is like one thing. SNAP is a very important thing. But SNAP isn't the only like food assistance program that we have.
Yep.
We also have WIC. And WIC is also at risk November 1st of just losing funding for the program. But it was also at risk earlier in the shutdown. When the shutdown first happened, we were having conversations about like WIC funding. WIC's running out of funding. What's going to happen? But we haven't had those conversations for like the last like 2-3 weeks now.
They moved tariff money around. I remember talking about
that. Because the Trump administration secured funding for the program by moving tariff money from the general fund to pay for it.
Illegal, but they did it.
Yeah, like that's just something that they did.
Yeah.
So like, why can we do that for WIC, but we can't do that for SNAP? Like, what's going on here? It's just because they want a virtue signal about the things that are easy to virtue signal about. They want a virtue signal about paying for the troops, and they want a virtue signal about WIC funding. They're like, the Trump administration is not going to let women, infants, and children go hungry. Well, there are plenty of women, infants, and children that are also on SNAP that will go hungry when those benefits go away.
Yeah.
But it's not in the acronym. Like,
it's just, no, it's absurd, dude. Like, and then with the Pentagon, I think they paid that first paycheck that the Pentagon would have missed on the 15th by moving around like R&D funding. Like, we talked, they moved like $8 billion in R&D funding so they could pay everybody as a part of the DOD. They just do this shit.
Like, SNAP isn't the only thing that USDA pays for. Like, they have other funding for other things. If we can just move funding around,
farm subsidies famously,
then why not move funding around to pay for SNAP in this emergency and then backfill the funding that we moved around? Like, this is something they're already doing in other places. Like, to say that they can't do it or they can't attempt it is just to say that they do not give a shit about the 40 million people that are going to be kicked off SNAP. That's all this is. And this whole contingency fund thing is already fucky enough because, like, again, they had it in their shutdown plan going into it, and then when they decided it could be politically advantageous for them to hold SNAP hostage, they took it out of their shutdown plan. And when it comes to contingency funds in general, just like with regards to them, it's unclear whether or not they have been using WIC to keep them going in the current shutdown. I'm not sure about that. It's really hard to find information about that.
And the thing I wonder about is, like, SNAP is a part of mandatory spending, right?
Yeah.
The SNAP program is mandatory spending for the government. What stops them from just saying, we're not going to send out Social Security checks?
Yeah, literally.
Because Social Security is also mandatory spending from the government. It always pays out. There's not a set amount in the budget. It pays out to anybody who's eligible. So what stops them from saying, we're not going to cover this procedure under Medicare? If they can just do this with SNAP, even though it's mandatory, like, I'm sorry, but like, It's like the end times, straight up. Like, this is apocalyptic.
It's absurd. It's not something they can do. And, like, with these contingency funds, like, they keep lying. And, again, I can't find out definitively if they're using contingency funds to pay for WIC, but I bring this up to say that in the 2013 shutdown, they used contingency funds to pay for WIC. They used the USDA's contingency dollars to keep the program running. Why can't we do that now? Why not? Like, there's no other reason other than they hate you.
They hate you, and they want to use this as leverage to take your health care away or to stop Democrats from reinstating health care premiums that they took away in the one big beautiful bill. It's insane. And I will, in this moment, give props to Democrats for staring into the abyss and saying, fuck it, we're going to keep going.
Because it's like, right now, it feels like it is a now or never moment. Like, if the government is going to be funded without them getting the ACA subsidies, like, reinstated in the new budget, they have to do it before November 1st. Because once you take that leap, once you go past November 1st and people lose their SNAP benefits, like, you can't, like, let up on that.
Yeah.
Like, people are hurting, and I understand, like, why people may want to, like, switch when people are hurting, but it's like, if you're on SNAP, you're likely not making enough money to, like, support yourself in general. And if you're on SNAP and maybe not getting employer health care, but you're getting health care, there's a huge possibility that there is like a Venn diagram of people who are on SNAP and also on an ACA marketplace plan.
Yeah, well, and it's not like we've said before with welfare programs, a lot of people go in and out, right?
Yep.
Like, there's a lot of people that don't rely on SNAP all the time, but might endure some financial hardship and get on the program for a couple of months. That won't be there. Yeah. Right. So if you say, you total your car and you have to invest a couple $1,000s into getting a new one, and so you need to rely on SNAP for a little bit, that just won't be there for people as long as the government shutdown is going on. And that's also a catastrophe.
Absolutely.
Like, it's just, there's no way to measure, at least right now, how much pain this is going to cause. And there's a very easy out, and it's negotiating with the Democratic Party on healthcare.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, that is all Democrats are asking for, is reinstate things that were there last year, and they won't do that.
Well, it's like, I bring up that this is like a do or die moment for like what this is, because like, and I bring up the Venn diagram, like the people that are on SNAP are likely to be on the ACA and like possibly vice versa. Like, there is an overlap. I don't know exactly how big it is, but it's there. And those people are going to be double fucked if you don't win this fight.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. It's like, it's either they're just like a little less fucked if you give up now, but they're more fucked in the long run as they pay, like, I don't know, in some cases double or triple their premiums next year. Or they're like even more fucked than that when they pay double or triple their premiums, and they also lose out on SNAP benefits for the meantime when the government shut down before they cave.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do? You know what I mean? Yeah. Other than just kind of like stand on business and force the healthcare fight, and force Republicans to actually do the right thing, which is extend the ACA subsidies so people don't lose their healthcare. Like, the stakes are so dire when it comes to something that is just restoring the status quo. And I don't understand that. I don't understand how we get there.
The Democrats are saying, like, hey, let's kill less people.
Yeah.
let's not cause more needless death than our healthcare system already causes. That's the ask.
That's the ask.
And that's just too much. So Republicans are going to take SNAP away. The Trump administration is going to literally take food out of the mouths of babies.
And they're dangling it in front of you.
Yeah.
They're dangling it in front of you saying, oh, be mad at the Democrats, please. Maybe this will help me in the midterms. Because that's all that they're thinking. Once again, this is not principled. Their not use of the contingency funds, their denial to use them is not principled. The Trump administration does not care about the law.
Yeah.
They do not care about what's holding them back. They've shown us this time and time again. So it's quite dubious when they go out here and say that, oh yeah, this one time, like, actually, guys, like, we don't want a sanction, or we don't want an injunction.
Yeah, no, it's absurd. And I will say, just on an aesthetic point, we are told all the time that if Democrats get elected and use tax dollars to fund public programs, that there's going to be like bread lines.
Yeah.
And right now, under Donald Trump and a Republican government, there are literal bread lines of federal workers, and soon much longer bread lines of everybody else that is not getting their SNAP benefits. Like, it's fucking absurd. Every accusation is a confession from these people. It's crazy.
No, it's absolutely ridiculous. And it's like, states are panicking now, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Because, like, what are they going to do with the people that live there? And governors are just scrambling to try and find solutions to meet people's needs to eat, all because Republicans refuse to extend ACA subsidies.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I will do an aside here, and I will give props to Hakeem Jeffries.
Rare props.
Somebody that we love to shit on the show. But the point of, like, doing the shitting on is to, like, pressure them into being good and chill. And this time, maybe he was. He said, as Hakeem Jeffries put it, quote, "It is a disgusting dereliction of duty that the Trump administration would knowingly rip food out of the mouths of 42 million children, seniors, and veterans."
Gas.
Banger statement right there.
Shout out Hakeem. I'll give it to him when he does it.
I would like more of this.
Yeah.
And Hakeem Jeffries, maybe he's trying. Maybe he's actually seeing the winds change a little bit because he did this and he also endorsed Iran.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's interesting.
It was interesting too because it's like I've been wondering for a couple weeks, like, is he doing the AOC Bernie thing where it's like he was waiting till the right time to endorse him, or was it actually public pressure that got him to do it? I don't know.
I don't know either. But I mean, I'm glad he did it finally.
But like AOC and Bernie endorsed before the primary. Like he is the nominee and you're the leader of the party. Like it's a bit different, but I digress. That sucks that Republicans are holding food stamps hostage.
Yeah, if you utilize SNAP in any way, sorry. There's not much that can be done at this point unless the Trump administration decides like, hey, we're not going to starve people.
Yeah. And
That's
it's like
it.
I don't know. I would say call your senator, do like the corny thing. You know what I mean? But it's like they're not gonna fucking listen to you.
Yeah.
Like realistically, like right now, it's like the Republicans are uniparty. Like they are just like one mind, and they are constantly falling in line. The only people that are like bucking the trend are what? Thomas Massie when it comes to the Epstein files, which I saw a tweet this week just talking about all the things that have happened to be like, have we forgot about the Epstein files yet? And I was like, shit, I low-key did.
The distraction worked.
The distraction worked. Like they got my ass. I did forget about the Epstein files with the government shutdown, with Venezuela, with, I don't know, fucking leftists with Nazi tattoos. I don't know, man. There's been a whole lot going on.
Graham Plattner is a distraction from...
Yeah, exactly. The deep state is actually putting Graham Plattner in to distract you from the least of the Epstein files. That's what's going on. But either way, like you have Thomas Massie, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know what the fuck she's been on, but it's been ridiculous. And it's been really annoying to see people who are otherwise apolitical be like, oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene's making points. Because like... Stop.
Yeah, be principled, please.
Stop. And then you have, oh God, what's his name? Rand Paul.
Yeah, with the Venezuela
Rand Paul with Venezuela stuff that are like bucking the trend from the party.
Yeah.
But other than that, everyone is falling in line.
Yeah. I mean, hell, the House hasn't been in session since the shutdown.
Oh my God.
Mike Johnson just hasn't
hasn't done his job. He refuses to hold any votes for anything.
Yeah.
He refuses to swear in the new representative from Arizona.
Yep.
And like, what do you mean?
Yeah, no, the House just hasn't been in session because the funding bill passed and is in the Senate, and the Senate has just failed to pass it because they don't have 60 votes for it. But yeah, like they just haven't been working. Like
that's great. They are acting like the mythical 22-year-old that's mooching off SNAP and Medicaid.
Yeah, no, they are just a hive mind, man. They're just doing whatever Trump wants, and it's bad.
So sick.
People are gonna die. Like, what are we doing?
Exactly. Speaking of people dying,
I was about to say, speaking of death, speaking of causing death purposefully, we got to talk about the war crimes we're committing in the Caribbean right now. This is a story that had been sort of simmering in the background for quite a while.
Yeah, we've been talking about it, but it's never been something that's like a full blown thing.
Yeah, but I did some reading on this over the weekend. I did a little bit more investigating, and we're bringing you the tertiary news.
Hell yeah, brother! That's what we do. Welcome to the tertiary newsroom.
Because I wanted to figure out what the fuck are we doing with Venezuela? Are we about to go to war? Welcome back, President Eisenhower. We're doing coups in Latin America again. And spoiler alert, that's kind of exactly what's happening. We're trying to do regime change.
Maybe we'll get a Bay of Pigs, but like in Venezuela this time.
Yeah, because that went so well the first time around. So for the last month or so, the U.S. military, at the direction of Trump and Kegseth, have been carrying out these aerial strikes on boats in the Caribbean. The argument from the administration is that these boats are carrying drugs that are bound for illegal entry into the United States.
There has been no evidence to supplement this claim whatsoever.
No evidence whatsoever. Also, just like the theory that fentanyl or all these dangerous drugs are being smuggled individually from the coast of Venezuela into, Florida?
Well, drug smugglers are notorious for packing boats full of people and not drugs.
Yeah.
They're notorious for using the limited space that you have on a boat, like a fishing vessel.
A speeder boat, yeah.
On a speedboat, to using that limited space for like people instead of using that limited space for the drugs you're trafficking.
Yeah. And it's like, we have data on where the drugs come from. Like, we track this stuff, you know what I mean? Like, where we capture these drugs. And it doesn't come from boats. But the point is that the claim from
the cocaine doesn't come from Venezuela.
No, the fent doesn't come from Venezuela either. But the claim from the administration is that they are just airstriking, extrajudicially killing these people on these boats because they are carrying drugs bound for the United States. And as of today, 43 people have been killed in these strikes. And the U.S. government, as you said, has provided no evidence that these people are smuggling drugs or even if they have a criminal record of any kind. And just as a side note, the punishment for smuggling drugs is not extrajudicial murder. It is a trial, and then you go to jail.
Yeah.
Or you get deported back to your home country and go to jail. That's the punishment for smuggling drugs, not the government just airstriking you out of nowhere with no evidence.
Like, it is such a violation of norms to be able to like go out and do this.
Shout out Alyssa Slotkin.
Shout out Alyssa Slotkin, dude. It's just like, what? Why?
Yeah.
How?
And the Colombian government has said that they've killed at least one fisherman.
Okay.
They have denied the claim, of course, but that is what the Colombian government has said.
Well, because I mean, they literally have to deny the claim.
Yeah.
Not that the Trump administration cares about killing one fisherman, because I mean, maybe they killed 43. I don't know.
Yeah.
And they're just going to keep doing it. They don't give a shit, but they have to lie to like keep up whatever like thing they're trying to manufacture consent for.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. Like, if the Trump administration had evidence that the boats they are extrajudicially striking were actually drug smugglers, they'd show us.
Yeah, wouldn't you want to take pictures with the drugs and be like, look at all the drugs we seized?
Well, and they would do the Colin Powell at the UN thing where he shows the little vial, right? Like,
Yeah.
if they had evidence or if they pretended to have evidence in the case of Colin Powell, they would show it to us, but they don't. All they have is video of the airstrikes and claims from Trump and Hegseth that these people are smuggling drugs. It's just not true. And there's a word for killing people without evidence, and that's murder. That's murder. What the government is doing is murdering people.
Yeah, these are just like war crimes. Like,
Yes.
You can't just do that. But like, what body is there that exists to like check people who want to just go do that?
Yeah.
There's like nothing you can do, especially when
Hague,
you're
I guess.
America.
Well, yeah, you're America.
Because that's like the thing here is like America can go and do this.
Well, we've been doing this, dude.
Cuba couldn't go do this. You know what I mean? Like, it's just us that could get away with it, but nonetheless still gross.
I mean, on our way out of Afghanistan, there was a strike that we ordered that killed a bunch of like innocent civilians.
I remember talking about that. It killed like a guy carrying water, and they thought like water was a bomb, but he was just carrying water to a village.
It was a humanitarian guy, a guy working for like an NGO or something like that, and then like 7, I think it might have been kids that ran up to the car to get water. It just like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and nobody faced accountability for that.
Yeah,
one.
the general apologized and that was it. Like,
He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we got it wrong this time." Like, as if that doesn't have massive consequences.
yeah, but this here is us actively and still, sort of we're in the process of killing people that are sailing these boats without evidence. And that's really bad. And now the perennial question is, can they do this? Is this legal?
Can they? Can they?
Straight up, the answer is no.
I
Of course
wonder
they
why.
cannot. The Trump administration has advanced basically no legal argument that would support the idea that they have the authority to conduct these strikes on boats in the Caribbean. In fact, Trump and Hegseth have both been using language such as, quote unquote, waging war when describing these strikes on these boats that are supposedly smuggling drugs. And now, listeners, I want you to tell me which branch of government under the Constitution has the authority to declare war,
To wage it. If
to
you will.
wage war.
Is it the judiciary?
It's not.
Is it the executive?
Certainly is it.
Is it Congress?
It's Congress. It's Congress. Congress has the sole power to declare war, and you might be able to tell that Congress has not declared war for this instance and hasn't since World War II. In fact. So they can't do this. That's the answer.
Yeah, that sucks bigly.
But of course, we've been in conflict since the end of World War II. There's been a number of wars that we've been a part of course, and those have been authorized by Congress through what's called an Authorization for the Use of Military Force, or an AUMF. And the most recent one was in 2002 when Congress authorized the use of force against Iraq and terrorists broadly connected to 9/11.
That's so insane.
Yeah, that's the last one.
That is post 9/11 America got away with too much, guys.
Yeah, and that authorization for the use of military force from 2002 is still active and has been used to justify basically everything that Bush, Obama, Biden, and Trump 1 and 2 have done since then in the Middle East.
Like,
they've used that for almost everything.
How can you just say like, oh yeah, we authorize use of military force to go into this place and also like against literally anyone else we claim is the enemy?
It's the authorization that Biden used post October 7th to do strikes on groups like the Houthis in Yemen. And it's what Obama used for a lot of his military strikes. It's terrible. It's terrible. That we've just continued to use this as an authorization.
That's like Congress just authorizing war.
Yeah, just permanent war.
You guys can just war. Mm-hmm. God damn.
However, no such legal explanation has been advanced here whatsoever, and the 2002 AUMF can't be invoked because obviously we're not striking countries in the Middle East or anybody connected to 9/11, as was described in the 2002 resolution. So there is no legal basis for any of this.
Yeah.
And the government does need a legal basis to do really anything, but especially when it comes to waging war.
Well, do they?
The executive branch, the president, has to seek congressional approval, and he has not done that here. Trump has, however, designated groups like TDA as terrorist groups, which is contestable. We'll talk about that in a second. He has the power to do that under law, right? The executive branch can deem certain groups to be terrorists. However, this doesn't give him the right to just execute people. That's for just like freezing assets and criminalizing support domestically of those groups. So it doesn't authorize the use of military force against these groups. It just does a different set of things. So yeah, no legal basis for this at all.
And it's like, they're not even trying. They don't even try with any of this. Like, as much as, I don't know, Obama was drone striking weddings or whatnot, at least he, like, had the AUMF from 2002. The Trump administration is so bold in everything awful that they do.
Yeah.
It sucks so bad. They're so bold in the corruption that they're just doing out in the open. Again, Qatar jet, $130 million in the military. Trump signing a $230 million check on us to him. Like, and then they're so bold in the idea that they're like, yeah, we're just killing people in the ocean and there's nothing you can do about it and we can do it just because I said.
And to be clear, the 2002 authorization for the use of military force was already stretched beyond imagination. We stretched it to authorize our protection of Israel post-October 7th.
That's crazy.
Like, we have gone so far with the resolution that should have ended in like 2003. Yeah. And here we are. and the Trump administration isn't even using that. They're going even further than that. Like, it's unbelievable.
They're not even trying.
No.
They don't even try, and they can just get away with it. And I mean, like, I hate to be a, like, what does this say about the country kind of guy. But, like, what does this say about the country? When, like, supposedly half the electorate, at least half the people who, like, went out and actually voted in this last election, were like, yeah, this shit is sick and cool.
Yeah.
And we're just going to let him do whatever he wants, and it's fun, like, I trust him. I was raised to never trust a politician ever.
Yeah, you should
But
always
yet,
be
like,
skeptical.
millions of people are just throwing their full support behind this one billionaire just cuz.
The congregation is missing someone. And that someone, dear listener, is you. The congregation awaits you over on our Discord. If you go into the description of this episode right now, there will be a link to join the Head in the Office Discord where you will find more than 1,000 like-minded individuals for you to interact with. And maybe most importantly, we'll be there.
1,000 members strong. It is a burgeoning community of Hitto-heads.
That's right.
Ready to receive you into their arms. Make you a part of the community. Vest you as a Hitto-head.
Over on Discord, we have discussions. You can interact with other Hitto-heads. And maybe, for some fun, we can do some community events. And we know that you want to be a part of that. Only available over on the official Head in the Office Discord. And Trump has explicitly said that he's not going to seek congressional approval. This is from the New York Times. This is maybe one of my favorite Trump quotes so far of this administration. He said, quote,
a good one.
I don't think we're going to necessarily ask for a declaration of war. I think we're going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country, okay? We're going to kill them, you know? They're going to be, like, dead.
Doug, you literally can't do that. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, again, like, they're not even trying. This is them not even trying harder.
Yeah.
This is like them trying not to try. He's like a petulant child that, like, gets away with too much. Like, oh, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go do it. Like, what are you going to do? And what am I going to do? I'm a podcaster, man.
And after that, Hegseth said, quote, every boat we strike is 25,000 Americans.
Oh, my God. It's just like Joe Biden. This is 15/9/11.
Everyone's Joe Biden.
Everyone is Biden.
Every boat we strike is 25,000 Americans whose lives were saved because of the drugs that were headed in our direction. Our message to these foreign terrorist organizations is colon, we will treat you like we have treated Al-Qaeda. We will find you. We will map your networks. We will hunt you down and we will kill you.
Brother.
They love death, dude.
They love it so much.
Yeah.
And it's just so fun. 25,000 Americans' lives. Brother, citation, please.
Trump has been dropping numbers like that, like, frequently anytime he's asked about this. And there's no citation. Like, we don't know where they're getting these numbers.
He's like, well, we have to do this right now because specifically before Halloween, because what if these drug boats get in the country and they start handing out fentanyl with Halloween candy? It's going to happen.
Now, I do want to note that groups like Tren de Aragua or these other groups that they've designated as terrorist groups for smuggling drugs are explicitly not terrorists, right? Terrorists seek political gain through enacting political violence of some kind.
Yeah.
These groups are seeking to make profit through illegal or illicit means.
Yeah.
These are different things, and the distinction is very important. And it seems like to them it doesn't really matter. Also, again, I'll just make the note because this feels important. The punishment for drug smuggling is prison, not death.
This is true.
And lastly, there's also the consideration that like there has been an increase in drug related deaths, especially drugs related to like smuggling from the southern border. However, those recent deaths are mostly motivated by fentanyl smuggling, which comes from Mexican labs across the border or in planes, not from Venezuela.
Nice.
So there's just no connection.
So like for reasons we'll get into later, like cocaine doesn't come from Venezuela,
Yeah.
and fentanyl doesn't come from Venezuela.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are we doing then?
Yeah, and no, exactly. That begs the question, what are we doing here?
Like, why are they trying to do this?
And here comes, I've sort of buried the lead on this story here. This comes from Hegseth, quote, "The cartels are waging war against America, and just like I promised in the campaign, we are waging war against them. The land is going to be next."
Why are we going to war with Venezuela? What happened to No New Wars?
Yeah.
What happened to the pro-peace president? What happened to the guy who wanted a Nobel Peace Prize because he ended 7 or 8 wars or whatever?
He's starting a new one.
Like, what happened to No New Wars? What happened to if you elect Kamala Harris, we're going to be in a billion wars all over the place?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
now we just have Pete Hegseth going out and saying we're going to do a land invasion of Venezuela.
It was that Trump said the land is next. Hegseth said the stuff about, or Trump said the stuff about promise on the campaign. Hegseth said the land is next. I mixed up the quotes. But the point is that they're both saying we're going after land next.
Yeah. What does he mean promised on the campaign? Just like I promised on the campaign? Oh my God, what happened to No New Wars, man?
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome back, war on drugs, but like worse?
No, not even, it's just a war with another country.
Exactly. It's not even war on drugs. It's not even, yeah,
It's just
exactly.
war.
It's just war.
It's just war.
Can't even be cheeky about it.
So yeah, again, I've sort of buried the lead. We're going to war with Venezuela, it seems. They're talking about land strikes next. That's explicitly just a hot war with Venezuela. And from NPR, apparently Trump has been assembling military ships on the coast of Venezuela for a while. We talked about that a while ago. And from NPR, quote, "International law experts say it's an unprecedented amount of military hardware to confront suspected drug boats, which has fueled questions about whether the operation is about countering narcotics trafficking or instead toppling Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro." Of course, this was always the point. They want to do regime change. Trump right now has troops deployed in Trinidad, which is an island off the coast of Venezuela. It seems we're planning for a fucking invasion.
Well, Trump also admitted last week that he approved CIA covert operations in Venezuela.
Oh, there you go.
Like we're doing the CIA thing again.
We're doing our thing, man.
We're doing our thing. Fucking make America great again. I guess he meant bring America back to what we were doing before. This is fucking ridiculous.
Okay, welcome back America from the 1950s to the 90s.
And it's like now people are just openly talking about doing regime change on Maduro as if it's just this like casual thing, as if it's just like this accepted thing and not something that ended in disaster like Loki almost every time.
Every time we did it.
Yeah.
Just mass abuses of like the most basic human rights.
And it's like the Venezuelan opposition leader that just got that Nobel Peace Prize and fucking donated it to Trump or dedicated it to Trump, that fuck-ass
She's
Nobel Peace Prize. She was, oh my God, I saw a clip of her before we recorded where she was talking, she went on with Don Jr. she was on like a thing with Don Jr. It's like,
Sure.
I would love to open up Venezuelan oil to American businesses.
Yeah.
There's so much money to be made here.
Yeah.
It's just America's like worst hits.
Yeah, no, it's literally just us doing a coup on a country because they nationalized a resource we want, which is like many such cases, right?
Yeah.
Shout out Iran in the 1950s where we literally staged a coup for this exact reason. But this is it. And the funniest part about all this is like this type of imperialism is so unnecessary now. This is out of time.
Doug,
like we don't need to do this.
We just do like sanctions now.
Yeah, we do sanctions. We get them trapped in like structural adjustment programs under the IMF or the World Bank. Like that's how you get resource extraction going now. But for some reason, we're doing something from like the 1960s and trying to coup Maduro. And it's not even like we're not even doing it good. Like,
yeah,
the United States used to topple democratically elected governments in our sleep because a banana company asked us to.
Oh, just cause like we were really about it.
Like we used to just do that, and now we have to. These fucking idiots are striking boats out in the open and telling everybody about it.
It's like it's like the fucking it's that Marx quote. It's the first is tragedy, then is farce kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like we used to be efficient. There used to be we'd have to wait for the documents to release of all the fucking 215 crazy ways we tried to kill Castro. Like all that shit. There used to be like I don't know, like as bad as it was, there used to be be some sauce behind it. There used to be some thought. There used to be some covertness, actually. But it's like, how covert is the CIA operation in Venezuela if Trump's talking about it?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
How like, we couldn't be literally manufacturing consent more out in the open if we weren't other than going and just killing fishermen, allegedly, in Venezuela, in the international waters.
Like, the Bush administration was a fucking joke, but they tried for months and months and months and were successful in manufacturing consent for everything we did in the Middle East following.
Yeah.
Colin Powell went and lied to the United Nations. These guys are just like, we're just going to do it. I just like killing people.
No, I'm saying, and it's like, at least, like, as much as, like, WMDs was a lie and just a known lie, like, at least, like, they were trying.
Yeah, they were trying to convince us, dude. This feels insulting.
At least it was a lie that, like, if you were of that time and you were affected by 9/11 and it happened, you'd be like, yeah, we can't let them have this. But this, it's just like, they don't even do it. Like, there are kind of parallels in that, yeah, they didn't have WMDs. Yes, Venezuela doesn't have cocaine. But it's like cocaine versus nukes. You know what I mean? Like, one of those is way scarier to me than the other.
Yeah, and even if we want to talk like about direct military action, Henry Kissinger ordered the carpet bombing of Cambodia and Laos, and nobody found out about it for years.
Yeah.
And that still has implications to this day. Again, these motherfuckers are so stupid that they are televising the invasion that they're about to do. It's insane.
Like, at what point can we actually, like, talk about, like, impeachment? Like, at what point can, like, Republicans act? Because, like, I feel like there have been a billion impeachable offenses that have happened. Remember, Bill Clinton got impeached for lying to Congress. Or lying to the FBI.
The namesake of this podcast.
The namesake of this podcast was impeached for doing that. When, like, what he actually did was, like, low-key worse. You know what I mean? Like,
it's just like, and like, I don't want them to be more efficient at being evil, you know, but it's exactly what you said. It's the Marx quote. First is tragedy, then is farce. The empire is crumbling.
Yeah, and I'm not supposed to see that in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Like, in my youth and my prime years, this is when we go down.
Like, the government, our government, the imperial power, is supposed to be moving in secret so Congress can never even make a fuss about it.
Yeah.
Like, so Congress finds out years and years later after the documents have become unsealed or whatever. This is just like, again, out in the open. They are admitting it to us. They're not even trying.
But it's like they're supposed to, like, performatively make a fuss about it. Like, that's like Congress's role in all this, is just to, like, performatively make a fuss and, like, pretend that they're not, like, actually involved in all this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Congress.
Yeah, that's what Alyssa Slotkin's doing right now. She's mad she's not even getting the briefing.
Exactly. That's what you're supposed to ask me first.
She at least wants to be able to pretend that she doesn't want this to happen. People in the Reagan administration sold weapons to Iran to fund death squads in Nicaragua to oppose their left-wing government.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine them trying anything like that
Like,
nowadays.
ultimately, like, I feel like we're putting journalists out of jobs.
Yeah.
Because, like, what are they going to investigate? How are they supposed to work their sources to figure out what's going on when they're just doing this?
I shouldn't have the information available to talk about this right now.
I should have to be a quaternary source. I shouldn't be a tertiary source, right? I shouldn't be able to, like, go and listen to what Trump says and then read, like, I don't know, a CNN article about it and then figure out the same thing that an investigative journalist, a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist, knows about the thing.
Yeah.
They should be going and doing the investigations, piecing together what's true and what's not from the CNN article, and piecing that together with what's true and what's not from the Trump statement. And then I read that and that's what I tell you.
Man, we truly have, like, no sauce left in the tank.
Exactly, man.
Like, our state, our deep state has, like, no sauce left to do any of this. All of the gas was expended convincing people that Joe Biden wasn't old and that what Israel was doing wasn't a genocide. And now our people in the State Department just can't do fucking anything. And it also helps that none of them are competent. They're the stupidest people on the planet. And of course, Trump is Biden now. So
Trump is Biden, man. And Trump is Biden and everything sucks. Like, that's just the fucking country.
Yeah.
That's just where we are.
Yeah. Anyways, that's Venezuela. Getting on to a couple of extras here, focusing on the exploits of the Trump administration once again. Focusing first on Argentina, of course.
Yes.
Our favorite failed libertarian state, Argentina.
Shout out Milei. Shout out Mr. Chainsaw.
I'm sure everybody's seen it. This has been a story for quite a while now, but like, we're just giving Argentina $40 billion
enough
for
money
free?
to like cover like other things. Like
Yeah.
enough money to cover a whole host of things that we can't fund right now because the government's shut down.
Yeah, like we could virtue signal and pay the military for a bit under the government shutdown with that $40
billion. We can pay the
billion.
military for a couple weeks with that.
Yeah, exactly. But instead, we're just like giving it to Argentina for fun.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Argentina just started selling their soybeans to China, something that our farmers have been struggling to do because of all of these tariffs. And we are importing a bunch of their beef to undercut the beef prices here in America. And their beef is like ridden with parasites and shit.
Shout out the American farmer, man. Like, fuck that every turn. Not only do we not even have like individual like farms anymore because everything's owned by Tyson. Everything's owned by like big farming corporations, and then they like, I don't know, lease the land to you or let you farm on their land. They just can't even sell anything anymore now.
Yeah.
Like, and yet they still vote Trump every single time.
Yeah, no, we got like 12 beef farmers left. And beef prices have been pretty high, in part because of these tariffs.
Yeah.
And now we are bringing in a bunch of Argentinian meat, like for what reason? Just to help them out. Like just to help out Javier Milei.
What happened to America first?
Yeah, no, America last. Argentina first.
Argentina first, man. It's fucked up. Argentina first, and then China tariff on, tariff off. I know Trump's in Asia right now to try and do some things, and Scott Bessent like alluded to the idea that tariff is off now. So it's like, what?
Tariff on, tariff
Tariff
off.
on, tariff off.
Tariff on, tariff. I think Scott Bessent also said something about like he knows how hard it is that how hard the farmers are getting hit right now because he's a farmer too.
Oh, dude, I saw a tweet about that, and it was just a picture of his house.
I'm a farmer too. Dog, fuck off.
Shut up. A garden is not a farm.
Yeah.
You are he has like what, like $500 million or some shit like that. Like he is uber wealthy hedge fund manager.
Yeah, it's like when a TikToker says, I'm a journalist. Stop.
That's not what you are.
Yeah, that's not right. Also in some corruption news, we sort of alluded to it throughout the episode, but Trump wants to pay himself on the taxpayer dollar.
Yeah.
Trump is essentially saying that because the DOJ investigated him, because of the damages that he incurred during the DOJ investigations for the past few years, he's going to make the DOJ pay him $230 million.
Yeah, what is it? Is he settling with the, because these are like
it's a settlement, yeah.
He's like, oh, okay, I sued the government over like whatever, like election claims, and now that I am the government, I'm gonna settle with myself.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna settle with myself to pay me your money.
Like, how is this not like explicit corruption?
Yeah.
Like, and it's not him paying himself, it's us paying him because that's our money.
Exactly. He's settling with himself so that I can give him money.
He's essentially just like stealing $230 million from the public purse. I mean, like, I don't want to do this, but imagine if Joe Biden had done this. It's fucking absurd, man.
That's the other, it's like with the White House stuff too, just demolishing the East Wing just cause.
Yeah.
That's not something that I really personally care about, other than like it's funny that he demolished the woman wing. Like it's funny that he demolished the
That's where his wife worked.
Exactly. That had the office of the first lady and like the women's history things and like a bunch of other shit like that. Like that's whatever. But like Obama and Biden could not have gotten away with that. And that's a whole nother thing is I've seen people defend Trump by bringing up all the other additions that previous presidents have made, although they're never to this extent. But the craziest one is Obama put in a basketball court. It's like, I know why you're saying that, man. Like, that's just, you can't, come on.
I think people also made a fuss about, there was like some construction on the White House under Obama, and they were replacing like all the piping or whatever.
Yeah.
And people made a fuss about that, and it's like, dog, those are the pipes.
Well,
Trump destroyed a historical building to build a fucking ballroom funded by like crypto bros and like AI companies.
Obama wore a tan suit, and it was on the news for a week.
This is nonsense.
Fucking speaking of crypto bros.
Well, he can fucking host dinners with a bunch of other rich guys. But speaking of crypto bros, so another yet it's so much corruption this episode. It's insane. Trump pardoned the founder of Binance, a crypto exchange company. This is a guy who pled guilty to money laundering, and this is without exaggeration, for groups like Hamas and Al Qaeda. What are we doing?
What?
Yes. Binance money laundered. This is what the guy went to jail for.
I condemn Hamas.
He money laundered for Hamas and Al Qaeda, among others.
What the fuck? What?
Trump gave him a pardon because Binance, the company, recently accepted Trump's family's World Liberty Financial crypto coin as a $2 billion investment, which of course bumped up the crypto price. And then he gave this guy a pardon.
Trump is pro-Hamas.
Trump is pro-Hamas.
Trump has funded Hamas.
Yeah. A guy who was responsible for allowing money laundering to Hamas, a U.S. designated terrorist organization, is now free.
And Al Qaeda
is now free because his company approved a $2 billion investment in Trump coin. Like what? Like is this not explicitly like give me $2 billion and I'll give you a pardon?
No, it's just like when Trump pardoned the Silk Road guy, and it was because I think his like mom gave him money or some shit.
Yeah,
like,
that's all this is. You pay him and you get whatever you want.
Like either you pay him and you get money, or you're just a Republican and a supporter of his and you get pardoned. Like he pardons George Santos for literally no fucking reason, just because like he is a Republican. He's like, I don't know, he was treated unfairly, and now he just
that one's awesome.
That is sick. No, that's like the one pardon that I approve of so far.
Yeah.
And then he pardons the Silk Road guy because I don't know, donation and Trump supporter. And then he pardons this guy because sure.
Yeah, just for fun.
God damn, man. That's crazy. It's give money to money launderer and that money's clean?
Uh-huh.
That's man.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know how else to like talk about this other than like it's so obvious that you give Trump money and he'll do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like you give him a couple million, you give him $2 billion, you bump up the value of his crypto coin, his family's crypto coin, and he'll be like, yeah, you're good. You can go.
We're so post-parody. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We're so post-parody. I've been seeing you guys talk about like, oh, bring back the Beyond parody sound. I can't.
Yeah, no,
I can't because it used to be like one story a week was like this.
No, it's the entire show.
Then we put it on the cold open, but the entire show I'm hornswoggled.
Yeah.
I'm vexed and I'm flummoxed.
Yeah.
Like,
and I was reading about this, and apparently the Trump family has put a lot of their money into crypto because post January 6th, they thought they were essentially going to be debanked, right? They thought they were all going to be put in jail, they'd have to flee and shit like that. So they put a lot of money into crypto so that they couldn't be debanked. And now they have these crypto investments, and this is explicitly just giving them money. Like approving this investment with the use of their crypto coin is just giving them money. And that's insane. That's crazy. And he bought a pardon.
it's gonna be so sick, the wicked rug pull on the Trump crypto when he gets out of office. If he ever gets out of office, I don't know. Who knows? Stephen Bannon's been talking a crazy game recently.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. But whatever. Who fucking
Yeah, whatever.
cares?
That's whatever at this point. Exactly. I forgot about the Epstein files. Like,
Anyways, that brings us to the end of Corruption Hour, and that brings us to the end of our episode today.
yes, it does. Yes, it does.
And as corrupt as this administration might be, we're not.
We're not.
Because when we are given tithe by our beautiful, beautiful patrons, our churchgoers, the saved few, we honor our commitments and we read their names at the end of the show.
And we have very specific commitments that we're set to honor. And we do those. Yeah. And other than that, you don't influence us.
That's right. Yeah, we're not influenced by special interests at all.
No, not one bit. 100%. 100% me.
100% me. 100% altruistic podcast.
Huge. So I got to give a special thanks to the people who like don't influence me in any way, but help me keep the lights on in the studio.
The people who don't influence me and the people who I have no influence over whatsoever. NSPM 7 compliant.
Big on that part.
Yeah.
Honestly, even bigger on that part. Really, the only influence I've ever had on you is to get you to condemn political violence in a time where the temperature is rising in this country,
and I'm trying to cool it down,
and we need to turn it down. And you see me on that dial turning it down. You see me going up to the thermostat, being like, no.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk did politics the right way. That's all I'm gonna say.
Gotta give a special thanks. To Caden Kraut, Chris the Postman, Christy Beck, Mike Suplinski, Clayton LaFed, Mark Yeager, Caleb Joy, Rich Toro, Tari, Frigalaki, Max Vasquez, Jacob Rogers, Colton Mooberry, Fixer Punk, Jim Egbrees, Bega Burrito, Cynthia Elks, Joe Stenstrom, Adrian Sandoval, Chloe Sam 601, Colleen Kutch, Jennifer DeVoe, Crawfish, Benedict Bennington III, Alexi Benanti, Big Booty Beatdown, Sam Maloney, Ted Cruz, Boytoy, Dictator Jace, Luke O'Shea, Cocker Tarleson, Danielle Jackson, The Word of Microsoft, Jennifer Science, Aaron and his Gundam Gundams, Darth Father, Taylor Furcacek, Corey Chambers, Retro Mondo, Veronica, aka V, Raxon, Ash Smith, The Grotler, Murder in a Trenchcoat, Casey Lynn Kelly, A.K. Ghana, Guana Don, Zach Lantian, Austin Greif, Marcus Corbett, Caleb Roper, Tyler Rensock, Cammy, Tylen Freeman, Isaac Hodges, Madeline C., Anna Valinic, Casey C., Sayas to West, August, Particular Pickman, Sir Capilot, Jeff Sines, Brendan's Egg, Froggy Gumdrop, Jackie Boy, Shameless, Coherent Babbles, Mem J. A Shark, Michaela Muncie, The Wallace 3000,
Chris T., Kishan Lala, Amanda R., Tyler J., Particulon Memfrez, Rhonda Stiletto, Midwest Marxist, Joe the Mailman, Gary from West Michigan, Shawnee GG, Juniper Not Jupiter, Stacked Crabs, I Crowley, Urban Peach, Lord of Forlorn, Holt Forsyth, Booty Snakes, Dew Fairy, Chelceratops, Austin Lima, Lane Waltz, Azim Fida Hussein, Gorgeous Girl Mukes, Brooklyn G, Noverk the Dastardly, Goldthorn, Addie Book, Merlin, Cryo Bongi, Sergeant Pookie, Hoodie, Kim Kitsuragi, Rose Grimm, Kristen, Jamie the Young Extremist, Jack the Heathen, Archer W, Evan Mingo, AJ Torres, Elo Nico, Jake Hall, Seth Schmidt, Noah Sajas, Majawat, Ultra the Dragon, Mercy Boku, Dick Cheney 6 6-Inch Heels, Luke Wechter, Henry Kraggles, Tristan Ringsmith, Yaya, Asura the Atheist, Aiden Reese, Deep State Agent, Puddle Pirate, Southern Lefty, Lark61, KC, Cannon Man, Troy H, Rourke Muffalo, Nahan San Diego, Nut Mode, Nick from New Haven, Connor Nix, Sound Logic, Sleven, I Have Never Made a Woman Orgasm, John from Houston, Jordino, Haley Weibold, Pablo Vasquez, Nurse Jen, Soul DJ, Maple, Big Dog, CIA Small Creators Fund, Taylor from Burnt Down Minneapolis, Northeast Nick, Aya, Retired AF and SC, YK Coolin, and my mom. Thank you all so much for supporting the show on Patreon.
So much.
How would we do it without you?
You wouldn't.
Can't.
Can't.
Simply can't. Thanks for listening.
Have a great one.